Welcome back to Game Crunch, everyone. Keeping up to date with the latest in the video game world. Now today, got a couple juicy stories we're going to have to go over. So, have you seen Sonic 3 yet? If not, highly recommend you go see it. But we're going to go over some sales numbers, some box office numbers, because it just passed a certain yellow mouse in the box office. And then, on top of that, we're going to talk about some recent statements from an ex-Sony executive, basically talking about Microsoft. Could it be going the way of Sega did in the early 2000s? I don't know. We're going to get into his comments here in just a second. But of course, if you'd like to stay up to date with the latest in the video game world, consider giving Game Crunch a subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. If you find any of this information helpful, give the video a like and a share. And without further ado, let's just get into today's topics. So Sonic 3 is racing past its competition and has now just secured its spot to be the second highest grossing video game movie of all time. According to Box Office Mojo, Sonic 3 has pulled in a massive $462.5 million worldwide, overtaking Pokemon's Detective Pikachu, which had $450 million. While it's still quite far behind the Super Mario Bros. Movie, raked in $1.36 billion, Sonic 3 now holds the title as the highest grossing live-action video game movie of all time. And with Rotten Tomatoes score sitting at 86% from critics and a stellar 95% from fans, it's clear that audiences love this one. Sega and Paramount have struck gold with this franchise. Not only have the first two Sonic movies been box office hits, but their success has also fueled spin-offs like the Knuckles series on Paramount+. And the hype train isn't stopping. Paramount officially greenlit Sonic the Hedgehog 4, set to hit theaters on March 19th of 2027. If Sonic 3's momentum keeps up, expect big things for the Blue Blur's next adventure. So if you haven't seen Sonic 3, definitely go see it. It's actually hilarious. Jim Carrey in that role is amazing. Like, Jim Carrey in most roles is amazing, but as Dr. Robotnik, he's just hilarious. There's a scene, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a dance scene. You'll know when you see the dance scene. It killed me. In the theater, I was literally cry laughing. So definitely go see it. And then Detective Pikachu as well. To pass Detective Pikachu, I thought Detective Pikachu was amazing. So, good job on Sonic, and now I'm super hyped for Sonic 4. I've seen the first three already. Bring on number 4. So meanwhile, in the gaming world, Microsoft's shift to more of a multi-platform sort of focus has been turning a lot of heads. Former PlayStation executive Shawn Layden recently weighed in on the move, comparing it to Sega's transition from hardware to software back in the early 2000s. Layden pointed out that while this strategy makes financial sense, especially with the rising costs of game development, it does have some pretty big consequences. One of the biggest? Microsoft loses its ability to create FOMO, or fear of missing out. So think about it. If Xbox's biggest exclusives like Forza Horizon 5 and Indiana Jones are also available on PlayStation, then what's stopping players from just sticking with Sony's platform? Layden argues that it makes it harder for Xbox to build its brand. And that's where the Sega comparison comes in. Just like Sega eventually became a third-party publisher after the Dreamcast, some wonder if Microsoft could be heading in a similar direction, focusing on being an entertainment provider rather than a console seller. Another former Sony exec even compared Xbox to Netflix, saying it's evolving into a platform-agnostic service rather than just a disc producer and distributor. The big question now is, how far will Microsoft take this? Are we looking at an all-digital or all-streaming future? And this is something that I've been pondering for a while. Now, Xbox has confirmed they are working on another console. So as I said in a previous video, it does seem like at least we've got one more Xbox, but I'm starting to think that whatever the next Xbox is, like what is Xbox Series X, maybe this will be a Xbox Series XXX or something like that. I don't know. They're naming. I always thought they should have done an Xbox 720 or something like that, or a Xbox 1080 after the 360. But basically, with what's going on here with Xbox, again, it's kind of the same thing basically here. Is I don't see a future in consoles for them, the way they keep going. And I think it was funny, actually. There was a quote here that the PlayStation VP said, comparing Xbox to Netflix, and he also compared PlayStation to HBO, and then he said Nintendo is Disney. I thought that was kind of funny, but we'll have to see. Only the future will tell. We do know that Xbox is working on some sort of handheld console, and Phil Spencer said himself there is going to be another Xbox. It's just, is this Xbox going to be a complete flop. Like if Halo and Forza and whatever else they're coming out with, Perfect Dark, all that stuff just ends up on PlayStation, then why not just buy a PS7? Why buy the new Xbox at all? And that's all the news I've got for you today, so of course, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Have you seen the Sonic 3 movie? Did you enjoy the Sonic 3 movie? You better have enjoyed the Sonic 3 movie, because it's just that good. And do you think, yeah, that Xbox is going to go the way of Sega? Do you think they're just going to be a game publisher in time? I think we're looking at a pretty high chance of that happening. And of course, if you missed the last news video, I'm going to put one over here, and a video you might like over here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.